Hey guys, my name is Guney, and I'm here because I quit. No, I didn't quit Google, but I quit waiting on the sidelines. I quit waiting for permission to play the game of life, for someone to tell me it's my turn, for the perfect moment that was never going to come. I decided to stop watching my life happen and start building the part I found out that was always missing. My voice, my purpose, something that's fully mine. I came to this realization last summer when I went back to Turkey after 13 years away, a place I didn't think I belonged to anymore. The 4 weeks I spent there made me feel more alive than I had in years. Enough to question everything about my life back in the States. And it started with something really small. Let me tell you about it. There was this secluded cove I'd found after researching the best spots in the region. I decided to take my family there. It was a very dangerous drive. Single-lane dirt road with one side that's on an edge. It took us a little while to find it because it wasn't on the map. When we found the spot, I noticed that we had to climb down about 30 to 50 yards just to get to the water. I picked our two little ones one by one and literally crawled down to the beach. I think I made 3-4 trips to get everything down. When we got there, the smell of the sea, crystal clear water, almost no one being around, it was worth it. I remember just standing there, thinking, when was the last time I did something like this? Sought something out just because it called to me. Not because someone expected it. Not to prove anything, just because it felt right. I didn't have an answer, a good answer for that matter. And that question followed me back home to the States. Most people expect life to change in one dramatic moment. A breakup, a job loss, a big win. But real change is usually quiet. It happens when you sense that your days feel flat, even when there's nothing really wrong. When you finally admit you've been following a script that was never yours. Those small realizations are the ones that wake you up. That's what happened to me. I realized I hadn't been becoming who I actually am. I'd been becoming who I thought I should be. Who I was told I should be. Family expectations, societal pressure, all of it, leading to a false sense of purpose. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." It's poetic, and it sounds nice when you read it, but actually doing it, that's hard. Because it means facing the parts of your life that aren't yours, the habits you picked up just to fit in, the goals you borrowed so you wouldn't disappoint anyone. It's hard to admit you've been more loyal to expectations than to yourself. When I got back to the States, the questions kept coming and spinning in my head. The questions like, why am I optimizing for comfort instead of meaning? Why am I choosing a life that feels monotonous instead of rich? All of this, the answers to these questions, led me here to YouTube to be with you. You may say, what do you mean to be with me? Well, I wanted to share my experiences, my feelings, what has been happening in public to an audience that I don't know, because maybe you've been feeling something similar. You know, you should be doing something with all this. You just don't know what yet. Or you know what, but you don't know how to start. Either way, you're not behind. You are just at the beginning, and that's a good place to be, given the timeline we're in. So, who am I to be talking to you about any of this? What gives me the right? I have no credentials. I'm just a guy trying to go through my experiences in public. But my name is Guney Topcu. I've spent about 20 years in tech and consulting, and I currently work at Google on AI and digital transformation. My job is to take messy, uncertain problems, turn them into clear roadmaps, and lead teams to ship real products. I live in a world where strategy meets execution every day, and I love it all. But as I have been saying, that love has been only filling half of me. There is this other half I wasn't even aware of until recently. The part that makes life feel like yours. That's why I'm here. And when I think about it all, I realize that timing of all this couldn't be any more perfect. And I don't think it's a coincidence. Part of the reasons I've decided to do this now is because what AI makes possible. For the first time, you don't need a team, a big budget, or years of runway to build something that's yours from scratch. Do you understand how big this is? You can do it all on your own. When I reflect on this and where I was, I feel like AI had liberated me. It showed me pathways that used to feel blocked, obstacles that would just pile up in my head, push me back into my corner. But that's not the case anymore. I feel like anything is possible. I can create without being super technical or a great writer. I can find time to do things I never thought I could. That's what pushed me to finally act, because I sense what's coming. It's inevitable that innovation will happen exponentially faster. Individualism will rise, which means it's time to get clear on who you are and what you're building toward. Because the clarity will be your foundation. It is my foundation, enabling us to build with purpose to set us apart from the rest. It empowers you to create something real and share it with people who actually need it, simply driven by what's deep inside you. As AI becomes more capable, the most human way to stand out will be through the ideas you share, the stories you tell, and the connections you build with others. That's why I took this leap now. That's why I'm here now. Because I'm done with just surviving. I'm choosing to steer for once. I choose to steer now on my own terms rather than be forced later on for something else. Instead of watching my life happen as a passenger, I'm taking this opportunity to do more. Because I want to transform myself for my own growth, on my terms, for my reasons. Something that I choose and own based on what I believe. I know this is where most of us get stuck too, because it takes courage to challenge safety and comfort, to finally take action and be disciplined enough to see it all through. Nietzsche said it best. The secret for harvesting from existence the greatest fruitfulness and the greatest enjoyment is to live dangerously. I'm not saying seek danger. That's not the point here. But take action to be uncomfortable. Choose the work that matters to you and commit to it fully. Follow the path that feels right to you. Don't let anyone talk you out of it. Don't shy away from leaving your comfort zone. Put your energy into things that strengthens your inner drive, because that's what will actually move you forward. That's really what brought me to YouTube specifically, to the biggest information distribution platform. In my opinion, this is the best space to combine my professional expertise with the right audience. Up until recently, I had no social media. I was comfortable, safe, convinced I'd already made it to a degree. Didn't feel the need to do more, but I changed all of that. And now I have a simple goal. I want to share my thoughts, experiences, and strategy for this new beginning. Offer you an authentic way to discover what I have discovered and what I'm doing about it. Help you find what drives you when no one is watching and nothing is at stake, and then perhaps help you turn that into something valuable. I have carved out a system for nights and weekends that actually works, and with AI, that's enough, more than enough. You don't need to blow up your life to build something that's yours. If you're still watching this and something resonated, Maybe you're ready to. You know you're capable of more. You know there's a better way. You're just not sure how to start. Here's what I've learned to keep in mind. Freedom isn't about escaping responsibility. It's about choosing which responsibilities you take on so you can live a purpose-driven life. Think of this channel as a workshop for our lives, not a place for hype or shortcuts. A place to rebuild how you think, how you choose, how you act. If you stay with me, you won't just learn tools. You'll learn how to aim your days at something that feels honest, and then actually move toward it. So, here's what we'll do together, week by week. We'll walk through strategies to build a life that's actually yours, controlled by you. Exploring practical applications of AI to speed things up. How to work backwards from the outcomes you want. How to develop a mindset based on reality, not just motivation. How to build systems that monetize what you already know, what you're truly passionate about, that you can come in and do day after day. What we do here will evolve, along with how I present myself or deliver, which I know needs quite a bit of improvement. So, I'd appreciate any feedback you may have. Share what you think in the comments, especially if what I've said resonated with you. Subscribe and let's continue the conversation below. Once again, welcome to the journey, and I'll see you in the next one. And hey, thanks for being here at the beginning. Goodbye.